August 16th, 2025. How's it going, guys? Well, I got another video for you. And what are we going to talk about? Kansas City. We're going to talk about amusement park Worlds of Fun that Six Flags bought because, Halloween's coming up here down the line here. And everybody likes going to Halloween haunt. I think all of us here that if you've lived here in Kansas City for any length of time, been going there many years, the haunted houses were free if you had the gold pass, unless you wanted that fast, lane, and then you had to pay extra. But not this year. Through mid-season, just a couple months before, now guess what they're going to do? They're going to charge for that. Now you can buy a pass to go through those houses. But it reminds me, it'd be like somebody said, if you're going to buy a brand new car, said, I just sold that brand new car over there for $20,000. You go to pick it up and it's sitting on the ground. And so where's the tires and wheels on the car? Well, didn't you read the fine print? Yeah, that's extra. Another $3,000, we can put some tires and wheels on it for you. When you make transactions, and what I just can't imagine, when you make transactions like this and you purchase things. Now, I worked at Worlds of Fun a few years back, and the legalities and the things that they have people do is just unbelievable. And I know some things about Worlds of Fun that everybody should know, that most people, when you go up there, don't know. And one thing, some of the people that were working up there, they were paying like union and non-union employees up there. And some of these people, they had too many supervisors. They had too many supervisors and not enough Indians. We'll put it that way. I had like 6 supervisors, and they were always fighting amongst themselves. One wanted to go this way, one wanted to go this way, and nobody could agree on anything, which wasn't good. But these people, what really got to me, were driving almost 100, some of them driving 100 miles in to Kansas City. They were being paid that good of money to be able to drive. How many of us drive 100 miles a day to go to your job? I can't imagine. There was one gentleman there that worked, there was another supervisor that worked in the nursery division. He fell asleep coming into Kansas City one morning, and he almost flipped his car. He left the road. Unbelievable. But where I'm going with this is about the money that some of these people are paid there, but they're going to try to make up the money difference on the people that have been buying these gold passes for many, many years. Now, my son, he's 24 years old. I can tell you definitely I've had a gold pass. I've been going up there pretty much since when I was probably, 16 years old. I remember when Worlds of Fun was really something, when they offered value, when you could go up there and actually see entertainment. I think the first person that ever seen here in Kansas City, and it was free entertainment, was Laura Branigan. And it was a great show. Didn't cost nothing. They were also way back, Worlds of Fun was also charging for that too. You could go over there and see some certain concerts and stuff. But it's amazing. But I get to remember it was almost 100 degrees in the evening here in Kansas City. And she stood up on stage and said, man, it's hot. It's hot. But she was one graceful lady, put it that way. She's gone now, but she was a great singer. But like I say, I remember that. And I cannot imagine how places like this get away with this. Now, like I say, Six Flags bought this. And other things you might want to know, too, is we were told not to drink out of the water fountains if you valued your health. Now, one time I did have to drink some water out of them. And I see a lot of people drink out of them, but it made me wonder if some of those lines that they used lead, some of those lines had lead in them. Because this was from like the engineers and the other people and stuff. So something else to be aware of. Also, the stuff that they used to spray the chemicals that they had there on the property, they dumped into the ground. Yeah, guys. And pesticides, certain pesticides too. And I was told in certain areas not to be very careful. And it wasn't good. I mean, I would come here, I'd come home, I'd clean off, wash off, and man, because you don't know what you're getting into in certain places like that and how long it's been going on. So it's something else Six Flags probably inherited that they probably didn't know there. I had to mow over there by that Timberwolf and certain other places, and they had exposed wires on the ground. I was told in one section not to go over there, that one of the supervisors would go over there and cut because there was an exposed wire on the ground. Now, can you imagine these places running like that and nobody even questioning anything? And then this year, me and my son's been up to World's Fun several times, and it just didn't seem like they had the oomph that they used to. They didn't have entertainment. They have some kind of like little float deal where they shoot water at kids and stuff. That was kind of cool. That's something new. It was just like a 3-car like deal. But some of the entertainment they would have in front, they didn't have as much this year. And then when they had it, sometimes they didn't show up. We went up there a couple times and they weren't even having it. So something to be aware of. But is the value there? And I get to think about how much, if these things cost $40 or, there's places, just out in Las Vegas out there, Universal Studios just opened a deal. It's $69 to go through 4 haunted houses, but that's what it's designed for. And then they have like a food like court and a bar and stuff out there and stuff. And it's supposed to be really something. Now, in the last couple of years here, Worlds of Fun had not really done a lot. It kind of went downhill. And they also got rid of their Christmas show that they had here too. When I was up there, they said felt like they were losing money, but I always thought that was an attraction for Kansas. That was something Kansas City had. It's kind of like the Nelson Art Gallery. But this is just another blow here, the way I look at it for Kansas City. Now, this morning I was looking at this, and there's a lot of people. Well, I can see a lot of people try to take and sue on this, and I bet they will. Because I can't imagine the people that have held cards for many, many years. I mean, like I say, I've been taking my son up there for 24 years every year, and we went through those haunted houses. And for free. Well, it wasn't free. It was supposed to be purchased through the card. So now they changed it. Well, just another thing here, like I say, in Kansas City. But like I say, it reminds me of somebody that'd sell you a brand new card. And, well, those tires and wheels didn't go, that's extra. Oh my God. And like I say, guys, you want to be careful probably drinking through those up there. I'd like to know I'd like to see those fountains up there tested. I'd like to know, because the way they talk, they knew something. They knew something had been done on those lines. I don't know if they were just that old and they could have lead in them or what else, but not good, guys. So, unbelievable. Well, we still got the Kansas City Zoo. We still got the Nelson Art Gallery. That's about all we got here in Kansas City. Oh, and we got all the bars down at Westport where they get high and drunk and everything else. But, not good. If you want to bring Kansas City up, you need to bring better entertainment, some free entertainment. Often wonder, I also thought about it up here at Ameristar, how everything's controlled here in Kansas City. How, that there's an area where all the truckers were pulling over there. And then something happened. Yeah, I think something happened. Probably one of the hookers or one of the truckers probably got killed up there. And then they closed it all off. And then they started making the truckers go over there where those cinema was. But I was just thinking that area, if they really would have wanted to do something and everything wasn't so controlled in Kansas City about laws and codes and stuff, that would have been a good place for a little amphitheater there, where they could actually put, And it had maybe, you know, see, Ameristar used to have free music up there at the little caboose like up there. I mean, people pay to go up there. I've paid to go up there and listen to some of the other music and stuff. But then all that stuff just dies out. They don't, you know, have anything like that. But I was just thinking it would be something almost, they could almost make something like the way they have down there in Fremont, there in Las Vegas, Nevada. You know, they'd have to, you know, have it, if like they do out here at San Calagon, if they had like, you know, beer or something like that they were serving people and stuff to make, you know, to make some profit. You know, they'd still be making money. And then they'd have security, but they have security there. So, I mean, you know, that's something that, you know, is a given. So, I mean, you know, it's like paying guys at a shop, at an automotive shop or whatever, that you have to pay them 40 hours work week, whether they're, you know, there or not. So it's like you look at it like, you know, if you got those people there already, what could you do with something? But there's no vision here. It's all about control. It's like, you know, it's like that Ferris wheel or whatever it is down there downtown. I wouldn't go down there. I mean, and then downtown's so hard to get down anyway for the parking. The parking is unbearable. You know, they just had that deal about the, you know, all these tow truck drivers and stuff and everything else. But the parking, you know, we used to park down there. It used to be $1.50 in those parking lots. There's still parking lots down there, but you just can't park in them. They've got them all cornered off and stuff. So, you know, if you want business, if you want volume to coming in, if you want people coming into your city, you want to offer a value. I mean, it's just like Vegas, and so Vegas is like, well, why is everything down by 11% or better? You know, well, guess what? You know, people that's got half a brain ain't going to put up with that stuff, and they're not going to spend their money there. Anyway, guys, just another deal here. I'm curious to see what this will be actually. Like they say, I guess I seen something that said something like 2840, and I don't know what the full pass to these houses would be, but shoot, I'm going to be heading out to Las Vegas, Nevada here shortly for about a week. So maybe I'll go out there to Universal, check it out. Now, see, it'd probably be worth $69. But do I think after you pay whatever we pay, was it 120, 130 for a gold pass? And then you got probably like Sprint Center and all these other places that buy it for all their employees. A lot of people get free, you know, get these deals. Can you imagine how much money we're talking here? And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we got to, you know, they could probably raise their profit over here at Worlds of Fun by 1/4 to a half more of what they get on these passes then. Think about that. Well, even if these were $40 for one person to go in one time to these haunted houses, I mean, I don't know, guys. We don't know these things, guys. Anyway, it's Kansas City. Good luck, guys. Have a good one.